France last won the World Cup in 2018. We're sat on the panel today with a 1998 winner with France. But they have quite the draw for the 2026 World Cup coming up next summer against Senegal, Norway, and the winner of the FIFA Playoff 2, which could be Bolivia, Iraq, or Suriname. Your reaction to what we've seen here, Frankie?
Well, it's nothing but an easy task for the French team, even if they are the favourites. But because of the tie we have with the Senegalese population, and we consider the Senegalese players as brothers, and even if we lost in 2002 against them, you know, it's a good memories for them, and we are happy that they enjoy that. And really there is no problem with us seeing them, you know, being happy.
Senegal were 19. Frank said they've been struggling a little bit and not as good as they were. We see the goals here of Erling Haaland. You've got Alexander Sorloth, who partnered him in a lot of the Euro qualifiers. He's also a monster. Not as prolific, not anywhere near, but the physicality of those two, I mean, scared the life out of Italy in the San Siro when they beat them 4-1 in the final match. Yeah. But they're 29th in the FIFA rankings. That's wrong. They won all 8 of the qualifiers.
Yes. They
scored a mountain of goals. They got a good midfield. They got Martin Odegaard, who missed a load of games. He's the conductor for them when he's fit. He barely played in a lot of the qualifiers. They got a strong back four with players playing not just in Norway but all around Europe and some of the top leagues. Got a lot of players playing in the Premier League, and then, as Frank said, they got Erling Haaland as well. They potentially could beat any team in this group. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise to me if, well, it would be a surprise in a sense if France didn't win the group, but I would not be shocked if Norway actually won this group and upset the apple cart. I mean, that's how good they have been.
Yeah, they can draw against France and
they can beat the French. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
It's a difficult group. So you've got a difficult group as a Frenchman, but so too have the Scots. We were looking at how Scotland would fare. They've been drawn in Group B with Brazil, with Morocco, and with Haiti.
Yeah, this draw could have came out any way, shape, or form, and you would have still said Scotland have got a difficult group.
Sure, but really, no.
But even before we saw Haiti and Scotland, in all fairness, we did say,
oh my God,
that is tough with Brazil and Morocco. But of course, Scotland know what it's like to face Brazil in a World Cup, Craig.
But that was a Brazil.
You'll be short on the header.
Rivaldo still talks about this.
Nutmeg or not nutmeg?
We're doubled up on Ronaldo. Look, and
well done. Leonardo, you see you play against Leonardo?
No, that's Dunga.
No, behind there with his...
Leonardo, you played against him.
He must have come off the bench.
Maybe. But that's I think Scotland has a chance to finish second. I mean, yes.
Because it isn't the Brazil of yesteryear, is it?
No, that Brazil team was the world champions. They got to the final and lost to France. They were a little off colour as the tournament went on. But this current Brazil team, let's be honest, new manager Ancelotti, they're not a patch on that team. They're obviously going to be looked at as the whipping boys in this group. But again, that goes back to being a little bit like the US in their group. If you're Scotland, for example, and you lose to Haiti, and I don't know how the games are evolving, who they're playing first and who they're playing second, but if they were to lose to Haiti, it would just go down as another disastrous night in Scottish football. So there's a pressure there. But I'm glad for the Scottish boys that they're going to experience going to a World Cup and playing the samba, playing the Brazil, playing that colourful yellow jersey. And then obviously Morocco, they're probably going to be favourites. But yeah, it's a tough group, but at least Scotland are there.
It depends on the order. It depends on the order they're going to play the teams as well.
Yeah.
I don't have the
order. I don't have the order right now.
And it depends where they're going to play. Because as you know, and we need to go to break, but as you know, as Scotsmen, we don't like the sun.
ESPN FC is presented by Coca-Cola. Time to turn our attentions to the UEFA World Cup qualifying playoffs. This is how things are looking. The Republic of Ireland finding themselves in the path that will take on the likes of Czechia, Denmark and North Macedonia. As for Italy against Northern Ireland, Wales and Bosnia in their path. And so let's welcome in Gabriele Marcotti. We're not going to talk about whether Italy make it, Gab. What we're actually going to talk about is if Italy make it, they would be in Group B to play Canada, one of the host nations, Qatar and Switzerland. I know it pains you to talk about them and the situation they're in at the moment, But if they are to make it, and that's their group, what would you think of it?
Well, whoever makes it, UEFA qualifying playoff path winner A, possibly Italy. It's funny because if I were cynical, I might say, oh, look, we're playing Canada, home of FIFA Vice President and CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani. Switzerland, of course, home to FIFA President Gianni Infantino. And Qatar, of course, organized the last World Cup and are organizing the next 99 local FIFA competitions. And also a place where Gianni Infantino resided for quite a long time. So I guess we'd be taking on the institutions here. I think on paper, you'd have to look at it and you'd have to say that, yes, you can talk about all the demons of Switzerland and how they're sneaky good and they've created problems for Italy in the past, but they are ranked below Italy for a reason. You can look at Canada and Jonathan David and this and that, and you would have to say, okay, respectable team, but Alphonso Davies will be coming back after a long injury, whatever else, and it'll be tough. And in Toronto, opening game, hype, you take a draw there, fine. And then you look at Qatar and you say, hey, this team couldn't even get out of a World Cup on home soil. And the way they qualified for the World Cup was rather fugazi. And you'd say, hey, this isn't so bad. But of course, all this applies only if Italy get there. And of course, it's still very true but it also applies whether it's Wales or Northern Ireland or indeed Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think this is a group that is manageable. Not easy, but manageable for whichever one of those teams qualifies.
That's the craziness of it. I mean, you have a team who, if they get through and get qualified, are going to be the favorite of the group.
Right.
That's insane. It says a lot about what went wrong during the qualification and how much they were bad and not being able to get.
Well, what went wrong was Norway.
Yeah, well, not only, I think not only, but yes, Norway did the job, but really, that's a shame to not see Italy for sure, and also the situation that they put themselves in.
Craig, let's talk about the Republic of Ireland, because we just saw at the top of the segment those heroics from Troy Parrott. If he can continue to bring those heroics, they could be in Group A to take on Mexico, South Africa and South Korea. What would their chances be in a group like that if they are to go on and make it?
I think still slim. They're one of the teams that would turn up at a World Cup and be under the category of hard to beat and playing on the counter-attack and really going on team spirit and those moments that you saw. I mean, they beat Portugal to be able to take that to Hungary and get that result. So they had two huge results right at the end of qualifying, one in Dublin, one in Budapest. And Troy Parrott had, probably the best 5 footballing days of his life. Scored 5 goals in 2 games and basically dragged his country to these playoffs. So they've got to get through the playoffs first, which are not easy. Obviously, as we know, there is a huge Irish population in North America. I mean, huge. So they would be, for them, it would be like a homecoming, very colourful, but again, a little limited in what they are as a team. And I think that would be difficult for them. But in terms of bringing the energy to a World Cup, the Irish would certainly do that.
So that's obviously the UEFA playoff teams, and then they are the Interconfederation teams that we still wait to see who will be making it in terms of those teams as well. And then we'll find out. That's not until March that we'll know who actually will be making up these groups. In Pathway 1, New Caledonia, Jamaica, and DR Congo. In Pathway 2, Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq. That's how things are looking right now. Obviously, we've got to wait a little while to find out who will be booking those last spots to North America.